Hey guys, it's One Hernandez here, and I tell you one thing, don't forget to subscribe to the Canary Guys. Good lads, guys. What a podcast. Watch that.
Hello everyone, welcome along to the Canary Guys podcast. It's getting spicy today because it's our end of season awards. We've got a bit of manager chat. There's a few things going on. So a few people are going to be winning some top quality awards and our certificates and trophies will be coming out to you. How are we, boys?
I'm good. I'm ready for tonight. It's going to be a night full of fun.
It is going to be
I'm absolutely
fantastic.
excited. I've got my tie on. I'm dressed up for tonight's awards.
Yes, we'll get a picture of that on the podcast so you can all see that Ashton has fully gone in. He's not taking the piss here.
I would have gone a blazer, but it's too hot today. I'm sorry, lads.
It is way hot. Yeah, why is it 1,000,000 degrees centigrade? That's what I want to know. But yeah, I suppose we'll get into the serious stuff first before we let our hair down and enjoy the awards. Not that they're not serious, of course. They are very, very serious, prestigious awards. I will also spoil the fact that there might be the first inductee into the Canary Guys Hall of Fame this evening at the end of the pod. So, good news. Right, we'll get into the manager business then. Obviously, since we last spoke on the podcast, it's been announced Jack Wilshere is not in contention for the manager role permanently. I think that's a big call, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that when that came out. It does show that maybe we were a bit harsh on Napa from the JHT sacking. However, I think we've seen through that. Obviously, I've watched the interview that Pinkham did with him. Really worried about his communication skills though, because it's coming like it's a regular occurrence.
I am quite pleased with his decision making.
Yeah, no, decision making's fine, but communication seems like a thing that needs to be improved at the minute.
He's not afraid to make a decision, and I like that. I like a bit of ruthless Norwich. There's been too much keeping people's mates in charge and fucking family ties and people taking the club for a ride, basically. And that is slowly being eased out under Ben Napa.
Yeah, that was my issue.
The hard decisions.
That was my issue under Webber. Like, the whole Wagner appointment was sort of a jobs for mates sort of thing, and the Wiltshire thing felt very much like that. So I'm very glad it's not gone that way.
Yeah, I'm glad. I like Jack. I think he will be a good manager.
Yeah, same.
And I think in time it will probably be right, but now is not the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
And he's set to leave the club completely now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Which I don't know how I feel.
I'm a little bit frustrated with Jack on that. I understand that he's got big ambitions, and so he should. Like, them 2 games, the performances weren't horrific, but he has played some regular easy teams. However, the way he speaks and there was a bit of a vision there of the way he wanted to play, and I can see Jack going to the top as a manager. But the fact he's managed 2 senior games of football as an intern,
he needs to earn his stripes at a lower level for me. If he went and got a League One job and, took that over and was really good with that, then fair enough. It's the right call. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think you can blame him. I think I've got a feeling he was definitely given those 2 games as a job interview sort of thing. Show us what you've got. But again, the games, a 0-0 draw with Borough, who are horrendously out of form, and conceding 2 against already relegated Cardiff isn't great. But yeah, I see him having a good career, and I just hope we don't look back on it with regret in a year's time where we're facing relegation and Wiltshire's got some sort of team promoted.
Yeah. Very, very true. I think it'll happen, but I just think it'll. We have to make a decision for now. We've made so many decisions in recent times that are all about the future. I think we have to start making decisions for now. For me,
Yeah, well, like, don't be wrong. With Johannes, it was a future thing, and then we gave up with it. And I'm not saying that's the right or wrong decision that was made there. And now we've got to appoint someone who's gonna put us in there. Like we are.
we can't have another. I know it's another transition season is coming, more likely, but realistically, we can't have another transition season. We just cannot afford it.
No, we can't.
It has to be right this time, and it has to be someone who's going to hit the ground running, at least get us in contention. I don't even mind if we don't make top 6, but you've got to be in the fight and not just fall off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there? Obviously, there's been a lot coming out about managers recently, and from what you're hearing, who is like who is the one that you want? Like, I know Chris is a massive Russell Martin in, but
I'm a big Russell Martin guy. However, I will say that based on today's rumours about Liam Manning, I would be equally happy with Liam Manning as I would Russell Martin. I like both of them. I think they both play the right style of football the right way. I think they've both got proven track records at the level, and I think either one of them I'd be happy with. And truthfully, I'd be happy with Hassan Hootel as well, who's been rumoured. Any one of them three, and I'm very happy. My preference is still Russ, but any one of them three, and I'm happy.
What about you, Robbie? Anyone that you want the most at the minute?
I mean, again, I'm liking the sound of Manning more and more. It's going to be interesting to watch the game tonight. We're recording on Tuesday night, so we're about to see the second half of the playoff semi-finals. But yeah, I don't. Again, I think Russell Martin would be the ideal candidate just for style of play, but I don't think we would go for him, which sounds absurd because he's an ex-Norwich player, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah,
No,
I
get that.
I'm in a really sticky situation. For me, number one is Hasselhoetel, closely followed by Russell Martin. But I can't see it. And is it for me? I don't know where the club sits in terms of their pool and their reach of players and managers at the minute. Are we a team?
Yeah, it is a weird scenario.
And Manning I like, but let's say Bristol still lose the playoffs tonight. On paper, they're probably still a better team than us, with all due respect to them.
I don't know about on paper.
Well, not on paper, but like on performances. Like we're shambles at the minute. Like we've got these players who are good, but most of them are going to leave, and most of them's going to the experienced lads are going to leave. Like Duffy, we think's going to leave, and I don't think the Norwich job's very attracting at the minute.
I'm not sure. I think someone could sell it to them. I think there is a project to be built there.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, and I think the players that we signed last season have got to step up. And I know it's quite quick for him, but
yeah,
I think Forson's got to step up personally next season. Sirnach, I want to see him step up. Jose Cordoba has got to have the best season of his career next season, because if you look at that back four, Fisher we know can perform, Mojave we know can perform, or Crescenti, I like both of them. Duffy's gone, Cordoba or Doyle's gone, so technically if Duffy goes, our best centre back in the club is Cordoba, and he is step up massively next season in my opinion.
I think this just shows the level of players we need.
Yeah.
Like the actual amount of players we need in the club is quite scary, truthfully. I think we need double digits worth of signings. If we're brutally honest.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think 2 goalies is fair. You could argue 2 centre backs, full backs. I think we're fine on full backs. In all fairness, midfield, right. We're obviously coming in a permanent bias. I can see Kenny leaving this summer. I can see Nunes leaving this summer. So you could argue another 2 to 3 midfielders there, and that and the
I
4.
literally think we need 10 players, and that's before anyone's left.
Yeah, and you're not wrong there, Chris. I fully agree with you. But for me, don't be wrong. Sargent and Signs have got goals this season, but if they go, God, we're going to look awful up front, and that's the only thing we had going for us this season. Our defence is the reason we finished 13th in the end, not the forwards. They've done their job most of the time. It's that defence that has let us down, okay? And if we're going to lose our best 2 attackers, or you could argue the best 2 attackers in the league, we're going to be doomed next season. And we're like, yeah, we can pass the ball around, fair enough, but we can't score, we can't defend. That's going to cost you football games.
Yeah,
No, that's fair.
I do hate to think about it. Like, if we didn't have Sargent and Signs this season, I think we probably would have been bottom of the league. I think we would have been bottom. The amount of goals that they've scored.
Question.
It's all well and good selling these players, making a profit, but if you haven't got players who, like, we need Eurosec, you need to actually, like, make an appearance for starters. I know you've had your issues, fine, whatever, but we need a new left wing and a new striker who can come in and hit the ground running straight away.
Yeah.
Are there any names in the frame that you're hoping that we sign?
I don't know. There's so many options.
Don't be wrong,
out there.
we were all crying for Dobbin, and I like Dobbin, but no matter how good Dobbin plays, he won't hit them Signs numbers. He might have a better performance on the ball, and where Signs has isolated himself out of games, but Signs has got us goals, in all fairness to him.
To be fair,
I can't see him doing that as consistently.
I don't see Dobbin coming next season. I think
I'm not sure now with the change of management and everything.
Yeah, what I've heard, he was very attached to for style of play. So I think he ain't going to come back. We do still have first refusal, but I don't know. It's sounding a lot more positive on Wright, which is a good thing, because Wright is a player and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Wright has been magnificent since he signed. He's been much better as a signing, but there we are. It's one of those things. I just think we really struggle unless we properly. This is a bigger rebuild than it was at the start of last season, and we called that a rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember mentioning it a couple of pods ago, but they've banned the word transition for next season. So God knows what happens if we don't get top 6, because that's the question actually. With the owners, the Athanasios, do you think they're a bit not gun-ho, but I don't think they're going to be happy with another season of mid-table mediocrity.
Well, they're the ones who got to invest the money into the squad then.
Probably not, but they've got to push the money in then, if that's what
if they're going to complain, you've got to put the money in.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've technically got the final decision of what happens in this football club.
Yeah. I think if we don't get top 6, I think, personally, Ben Napper goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I'm really concerned. I think I'll be less concerned when we get the manager in, unless there's obviously some certain managers. I don't want Cleverley and I don't want the QPR manager.
Do you know what? I understand why. I'm not necessarily. It's not my choice, but I wouldn't be upset if either of them come in.
I don't know. I just think.
I'd be underwhelmed. I wouldn't be angry.
What
I just don't.
No matter who the manager is, I'd get behind them. Yeah, it's all part of the man of football. But the thing is, we'll be pointing at the likes of Ben Napper and the Athanasios. You've got the money, more than what you had before. You've got some candidates there. You've got some lads who know the club well, who are in the running. You've got to be smart with this appointment, and I think that's why we've heard nothing. They're planning this before they interview anyone.
Yeah, special.
Okay, I think that pretty much concludes our manager chat. There's not really a lot to discuss otherwise, is there? It's just, it's all rumours at the minute. So hopefully we hear some news soon. I'd like to see some progress, and I'd like to know how the club's going to rebuild. It's time, then, for the moment you've all been waiting for. The Canary Guys Annual Awards. Yeah, so welcome along to our awards. We are very excited for this one. There is going to be some fantastic prizes on display, which are going to be our trophies. You're going to see them come across the screen. They are high quality specialist trophies. So yeah, Robbie has designed these. He's put love, care, and attention into them.
Yeah, they're made of top quality software and pixels.
Fantastic. So let's get straight into it. Starting off with our player of the season. Now, we've all had a conversation about this. It was really quite obvious to us who the player of the season was.
It's so obvious.
It's very, very simple. Josh Sargent has won player of the season. I just don't think it's disputable this season, really.
What?
In the performances he had.
Wait, have I missed something there? I thought we was giving it to Jakob Sorensen.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. No, Josh Sargent has won. It's really easy. I like Signs, but he's not been consistent enough throughout the season. Josh Sargent, in the games he hasn't been injured, has been consistently brilliant. I want to give a little shout-out, honourable mention to Kellen Fisher as well.
Yeah, good shout.
Who, for me, has been right up there. His performance has been really good.
Thought he's someone that he could leave over the summer if a good bid comes in from him.
I don't see it.
No, I'm not saying I can see it happening. Set in stone.
I think he's one of them ones who we don't let go for any money because he is a core of this new youthful team.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, that's a nice simple one. Josh Sargent.
Congrats,
brilliant,
Josh.
Brilliant stuff. Ashton, would you like to introduce the next award?
I would love to introduce the next award. So, best signing of the season. Now, it is a January signing here. And
He's not had much time to impress.
But in what he has done
He
for
has
the
made a
club,
big impression.
he has done absolutely outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, his signing of the season is Jacob Wright.
Fantastic.
Love it, lad.
I also think he's won by default on the basis that none of the other signings have been raging successes.
You could actually have an argument for Callum Doyle, to be fair.
He's been decent, but I
He
don't
fell
know if
off.
he's been an absolutely outrageous success, has he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So yeah, I think it was a pretty easy one here.
I think it's right from the subject of when he joined, he did start quite slowly, but since then he's just been immense. He's been class.
He's been on a complete upward trajectory the entire time, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think he's the player that I'm looking excited for the most next season.
Yeah. I think he'll be a real key player next season. I've got full faith in him. Fantastic stuff. Robbie, would you like to introduce the next award?
Of course, and it's the only worst signing of the season. And
There's some contenders for this.
there are some contenders. I think in recent years we've had a few contenders for worst signing of the season. But this is for this season, and it is another January import, and it is Mr. Invisible, Matej Jurisic. Well done to you, sir.
Hey.
Fantastic. Excellent stuff. Yeah, he had to win on the basis of, he's just not been it. So it's impossible to know how good he is.
I
He's
just don't
played
think
about
he's
30
right
minutes.
wingers because, like, Gordon's a shout and he was a right winger. Us and right wingers just don't click.
Yeah, Kate Gordon would have been a shout for worst signing of the season, but
What about Marquinhos last season?
Yeah, I mean, it's not this season, but yeah, he probably would have won it last season.
Oh
Something
yeah,
about right wingers in
he got a
Norwich.
goal and assist in his debut and just forgot how to play.
I remember being so excited when he
Yeah,
signed as
no,
well.
I was the same. I genuinely was excited with that.
It was an absolutely unbelievable signing. Fantastic stuff. So we move on to our Canary Guys moment of the season. Now, this is the award for the best moment with the most limbs, the most excitement, the one that blew your mind. There were a few contenders, but the
I'll go off
winner,
the line against West Brom.
yeah.
In my head went through.
But the winner is a game that I went to this season, which I can't say that for a lot of the second half of the season. But I was there, and I am glad I was there, and I'm glad I stuck to my guns, and that I never ever leave a game early, because it's the Coventry debacle.
What a game. Awesome Forson.
What an unbelievable game. A Mankler Forson Starboy.
Where were you sitting for that one?
I think I was up. I was up at Barclay, so I was at totally the wrong end.
You see, I was right in the river end, right in the limbs, and it was just class. But I do want to have a little moan about people who leave early again, if that's okay.
Go for it. I'm always down for a moan.
Because what a moment, right? And missing that, you'd like whatever people do when they leave early, whether it's to catch the train, which I guess there's reasoning for catching the train, but the person next to me, I said this before, stayed for the force an equaliser and then left.
That's
Which there was about 2 minutes left, and then Forson Screamer goes in to win the game. I then go berserk, and then I legitimately think I've killed her because I didn't notice her leave, and she's just gone. So at this point,
yeah.
I legitimately thought I had murdered this poor woman, but no, she's just gone home, which makes me sad because she's missed probably the moment of the season, and that's not going to happen again in a while, I don't think. So just leave early. Just don't leave early. You can catch the next train. You can sit in traffic. You can listen to Canary Call while waiting to get out of Trouse or wherever you're trying to get out of.
Yeah, that's what I normally do.
Or listen to the Canary Guys podcast.
Sitting on the traffic queue with the Canary Call on, doing my research.
Lovely stuff.
Right, on to the next award. I think, Ashton, it's probably your turn to do an award.
So, individual performance of the season. Now, there's a lot here you could put. You could put signs against Derby, signs against Plymouth. You could put Sargent against Stoke. But there was one clear winner with an outstanding dummy run. It is the Squirrel against Hull City.
Yeah, absolutely. Deserving award. Fantastic stuff.
That is the best dummy run I've ever seen in football. It
is the individual performance of the season. It's simply sensational. Why we've not signed him, I have no idea.
Yeah, Napper out.
The game's gone. How are you not signing someone like that? Like, it just upsets.
Fantastic. Robbie, on to you.
Of course, and it is
This is a big one.
This is the big one. It's the one that one person in particular has been waiting for because it is the Canary Caller of the season, and this award is going to a man who is devoted to the cause, a man who screams Norfolk, a man who I'm sure has about 14 children and about 12 wives. It is the one and only Dale. You have won Canary Caller of the season, my friend.
There were some contenders for that, for definite.
Oh, there were some brilliant calls in the last season, but Dale's,
some brilliant calls, some regular callers, but Dale is consistent always.
Consistently brilliant. Well done to you, Dale.
Fantastic.
Very proud of you.
Right, time for me to introduce our Fan of the Season award. Now, this is to the person that we think has done the most for Norwich fans across social media and across the club. We'd like to award this award to someone who should have won the official Fan of the Season award, but unfortunately, they're all woke.
It was
So
rigged, 100%.
it was rigged. It was all woke, utter woke nonsense. We don't do utter woke nonsense on this podcast. So the fun of the season is the one, the only, Sammy Dingle.
Way!
What a lad! What a lad!
Excellent. He so deserves that. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Fantastic. Right. We've got a few honourable mentions to mention for this next one as well. Ashton, I know you've definitely got one for this.
Yep.
Would you like to give us your honourable mention for the Tweet of the Season award?
So, tweet the season. My honourable mention goes to Rug at the Rug85. It is a picture of your hand off tour upon Would I Lie to You. I once told an entire fan base, I'm honest after seconds, earlier claiming our 7 million marquee signing still wasn't ready after suffering jet lag from a 2-hour flight from 3 months ago.
It was a brilliant tweet. It made us all laugh. It features on the podcast as a tweet of the week. But the winner of Tweet of the Season, he's only gone back to back on the awards. It's Sammy Dingle.
Way!
This time for the iconic Mate Eurosec sex change tweet, which you'll see up on screen now. It is magnificent. How it didn't win a Tweet of the Week award this season, I don't know. We must have missed it, but it was just fantastic, and it deserves all the plaudits, all the credit it gets. Fantastic, brilliant stuff.
Phenomenal work, Mr. Dingle.
Robbie, on to you for the next award.
And it's a man I love because it is the staff member of the season. And
There's been some interesting staff members. I'd like to give a shout out to Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn's a shout. Glenn's a lovely lad. Wears a tuxedo wears a tuxedo to spoons. Love that.
And I'd like to give a shout out to the set piece coach who shall not be named.
Stanley again. Ole ole.
No, he's our worst staff member of the season.
And I think, but there's only one winner. And it's a man who exudes sex. It's a man who looks like you could give him a cuddle and he'd just never let you go. It is Pete the Kit Man. Congratulations, sir.
Deserved.
Fantastic work, Pete. Well done.
He works so hard for the club. He's night and day. After a away day, he's straight in the laundry room to washing the shirts. I must say he missed washing Fashion Act's pre-season shirt because it still stinks. But other than that, good job, Pete.
Magnificent. Right, Robbie, I'm going to let you also present the next award.
This is a big
Because
one
it's
again.
a personal award for you.
It is, and it's a sausage roll.
This
of the
is a big
season.
one.
Oh,
It
this is amazing. I'm excited for this one.
This is the banker.
This is huge.
To prelude this, however, we have to do our weekly sausage roll segment before the sausage roll of the season award. However, I didn't eat a sausage roll this week, so I had to hand over the reins graciously to Alwyn OTBC, great supporter of the pod, follows every single one. Has put some
competition that's coming up later.
Yeah, has put some lovely words in for us. So thanks to Alwyn, because you're absolutely brilliant, lad. And let's get started, because Alwyn lives in Wales. You probably could guess by the name, to be fair. But I've never been to Wales, so I never know what the sausage rolls are like. But look at this image on screen. It looks gorgeous. And it's a local bakery sausage roll review before a huge local league game. Price £1.20, bargain.
That's cheap.
Appearance.
That is cheaper than Greg's.
That is way. They're rising again, by the way. Greg's prices. I think they're like £1.70 now. It's extortionate. Appearance 9 out of 10. Agree with that. Completely amazing. Taste 8.5. Perfect meat to pastry ratio, but pastry was slightly too hard. And also nabbed a cheeky cake that was fucking unreal. Love you, Jeff Man. Well, I love you, Alwyn. Thanks for your support throughout the season.
Alwyn, you've been fantastic, mate.
You have been great.
We'll see if Alwyn, in a couple of awards, manages to win the podcast fan of the season.
Of course.
He's right in there.
100%.
But now it's time for a prestigious award.
It
is the Canary Guys Pro Club's Player of the Season.
I haven't given away the Sausage Roll of the Season award yet.
Have you not?
No, you
No.
just said what the sausage roll of the week was for Alwyn.
Oh, we've done the sausage roll review. Oh no, I skipped ahead. I'm
That's
just so
okay.
excited to crown the Pro Clubs Player of the Season.
It's a very important award, but the sausage roll, I would say it's more important because I have sampled many sausage rolls. We discovered that I must have spent over £500 on sausage rolls this season alone. However, it would be the easy cop out to choose the Carrow sausage roll, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to give the prestigious award to Hiles Bakery in Lowestoft because sausage rolls are always class. You have the option between a large one or a small one. You have the option between hot and cold. The staff in there are absolutely wonderful. They know me by name, which is a bit concerning, but they're just so nice to me. They're always, "How are you, darling? I missed you last week," and they're just all legendary people. So Hiles Bakery, you're wonderful. Congratulations on the award. It is a very high accolade, and I hope you appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy my business next season.
Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Okay, we will now move on to the Pro Clubs Player of the Season. Sorry for going a bit prematurely there. I'm just excited to give him his award because there's some contenders for this. There are some top players within our Pro Club. I like to think of myself as a decent player.
I must say,
but
I'm in there too, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. We're all three of us. We're in there, but me and Robbie have not won this award. He scored 100 goals for the Pro Club.
101.
He is our all-time top goal scorer. It's Ashton, everybody.
Brownie again. Ole, ole.
Unbelievable. Would you like to do an acceptance speech, Ashton, for your Pro Clubs Player of the Season award?
Honestly, I am absolutely gassed at this award. I'd like to thank all the lads who play pro clubs consistently. I couldn't have done it without my teammates because it's all well and good me putting the ball in the back of the net 101 times, but you can't do it if you ain't got the players in the team to pass you the ball. So it's not just an award for me, it's an award for my whole team, and I love them all.
I love that, Ashton. GG's. Well done to you, sir.
Fantastic. And Ashton, you can introduce us to the next award.
Oh, okay. So, Pro Club's worst player of the season. Now, there are a couple contentions. A very good friend of mine, Yellow Insider. He has not got the award despite his amazing performance in goal that one time. A couple names in there, but the winner, and I know
It was a clear winner.
and the lads will be happy with this. It is Archie.
Skill moves
Hey, skill moves. Congratulations to you, fella. Well done on this award. You deserve it.
Congratulations to you.
Brilliant stuff. We only have 2 awards left. And Ashton, I'd actually like you to introduce this one as well, if we can.
All right.
Just because
Canary
of who's won
Guys.
it. I'll give some shouts before you do this because it is our podcast fan of the season. And I'd like to give some honourable mentions. As I said, Alwyn OTBC, he's in there. Canary Jerry, he's in the podcast fan of the season. Diane NCSC fan. And all of the support, thank you so much from everybody. We've really enjoyed this season's podcast. We're coming back bigger and better next season. But there has been one supporter who's shone above all others.
It is brilliant. Like, she comments on every podcast in terms of the Twitter polls that we do, the Twitter questions, the YouTube comments. She likes it. She's one of the first ones to watch it.
She gets involved.
She loves us all. And I think sometimes she keeps us going. She keeps the podcast going. We need to definitely get her on the podcast. She'll definitely, because of her win tonight, she definitely can come on the quiz of the season. I would like to give the Canary Guys podcast fan of the season to Penny.
Fantastic.
Really well
Penny
said.
Brown, deserving winner.
We love
And
you.
I must say, the only winner who actually received a physical prize.
Yeah.
Yes, this is very true, actually.
And it was the box of truffles that I almost offered to old Scottish man in a Holiday Inn. But I didn't. They're all pennies. And you can see a picture on screen now of her enjoying it whilst watching the game against Cardiff. Lovely stuff, Penny.
Okay, so that's it for all the annual awards. It's just time for one very, very special award. Well, not an award. Let's say more immortality into the Hall of Fame, the Canary Guys Hall of Fame. We're introducing it. There will be a new member each season at the end of these awards, and it's for someone who's gone the extra mile, who really deserves it, and in our eyes is an all-time legend. We've had a conversation about this. I think for us there are lots and lots of contenders. There's lots of you, as we've mentioned, for Fan of the Season who have given great support, who've been magnificent. But there's only one man. And I think if anyone watches the podcast, looks at the Twitter, you probably know what's coming. He watches the pod. He does our intro. He's a Norwich City legend. We're going to miss him at Norwich. Ono Hernandez is the first member of the Canary Guys Hall of Fame. He absolutely deserves that.
Oh no. Oh no,
Oh, no,
Hernandez runs
Hernandez
down the
runs
wing
down the
for me.
wing
For me. Love you, Ono.
We
I
love you
hope
so
you're
much,
listening
Ono.
to this, man. I hope you're listening. You're absolutely fantastic. We've loved every minute of you being at the club. It'll be sad to see you go elsewhere. Like I say, regardless of what I thought of you as a player in the last couple of years, you're an outstanding bloke, and you deserve this award.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, but come back next season, play against us and score at the Carra.
It'd be such an unknown thing to do that as well. That's the worst thing.
It would. That's it. We are done with the Canary Guys Annual Awards.
That was a sensational award ceremony, I think. Congratulations to you, lads. Well done. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching, because we couldn't do it without you guys.
Thanks to everyone who's watched, all the members of the Canary Guys group chat.
Thank you for getting us to 100 plus followers as well. We haven't had a podcast since that.
We haven't.
We're over 100 followers on Twitter now, which is huge. We're more than appreciative of that. We're very, very happy with how this is going, and we hope to bring you even bigger and better content next season. Keep your eyes peeled, because there is one more scheduled podcast coming, and that will be the big fat Canary Guys quiz of the year.
It's going to be a good one.
With special guests from across the Norwich City Twitter space.
I can't wait for it, lads.
It's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
It's going to be.
So yes, keep your eyes peeled. We'll be there. Fantastic stuff. I think that concludes today's podcast. We will get that awards ceremony out as soon as we can. And hope you've enjoyed.
Thank you for this amazing season, lads. We're going to come. We're going to come back.
We're going to come. Please just leave it at that. Thank you for this amazing season. We're going to come.
We're going to come back bigger and stronger next season. Thank you all.
Oh, unreal. Brilliant stuff. We're all waffling because we're just excited, because it's been a great year of podcasting. We've loved it. Thank you for the ride. Thank you for coming along with us. And we look forward to seeing you all at the quiz.
Yep, thank you again, and thank you to you two lads. The product wouldn't be possible without you two. You're great co-hosts, and
you, mate. Thank you for everything.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, the boys have been magnificent all year. So we'll bring it back. We're bigger and better. We're coming for you. Let's do it.
Yeah, the Pink Un we're after you. Beyond the Barkley we're after you. Talk Norwich City we're after you.
I'd like to just put a disclaimer in that I'm a fan of all of those.
Yeah,
podcasts.
I do.
oh yeah, we love you all, and we would.
I listen to all of those podcasts. I've got no competition with any of you. We only want success for everyone in the Norwich space. Let's be real.
Yeah, honestly, they're all great podcasts, and
They're all brilliant podcasts.
all
I
great
listen
individual
to them all.
people as well. And I think we're quite lucky on our fan base at times. I know sometimes our fan base can be very toxic, but it's quite a welcome fan base.
Absolutely.
Brilliant
Right.
stuff, lads.
Fantastic. That concludes the podcast for today. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and hope you've won an award.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.